So there's a series on YouTube called Number Lore by Super Society. It features a bunch of numbers trying to stop I and Pi from doing bad stuff. But what I saw will frighten me forever. So he puts them in parts. But episode 1, it just went as normal. But on episode 5, things started to get fricked up. I appeared, and he had his laser attached to him. But instead of nothing happening, besides them colliding into each other when 5 gets thrown at 6, there's blood dripping from his face. There was something on the screen that flashed for 1 second. What I saw, I couldn't believe what I was looking at. It was a distorted picture of 8. He had blood dripping from his face. He looked like Duck's death from Solar Fallout. Half of him was torn apart. That was so messed up. I nearly vomited. Next up was episode 7. 7 looked a lot different. His teeth were a lot sharper. And his voice sounded like Soft Sign from Harry Mason's Russian Alphabet Lore Reloaded. And then I rushed past him with glass breaking in the background. What I saw was probably why -1 was not canon. He had crashed into -1. -1 was dead from the cause of I crashing into him. And then 7 just called 1, 2, and 3 and made 0, but for some reason, 0 could talk. I was shocked. 0 couldn't even speak. And then they rushed down, running over -1's dead body. And then came episode 8. Episode 8 was horrifying. It went like normal until I was pulling 8. 8 spinal cords were showing inside his body. They were stretching and stretching and stretching until they snapped. 8 was still alive somehow. And instead of 0 just disconnecting, blood came. 0 had died. And then 9 hopped in. He had a more raspy voice. And then he shot 8 on accident, as usual. But 8's dead body was like the image I saw before. 8, his body looked even more frightening. And then, oh my freaking god, this was horrifying. Even I am shivering as I am writing this. They were beating the crap out of 9 as usual. And then his body was tossed at I. And then, oh my freaking god, this was brutal. His body even looked more traumatizing at 8's. His body, his face was all mutilated. It looked like he had a bunch of scars on him. He had those red hashtag things on him. A piece of him was bitten off of him. He had a black eye. Blood was dripping from his mouth. And it dripped on the ground, aka the planet's square roots. And his face looked mutilated. I always said that. And then his bottom part, oh my god. It looked like it was sliced in half and stepped on. So brutal. Ugh. Even now it makes me cringe thinking of that sight. And still traumatized. Next up was 10's episode. Instead of looking scared, he actually did look scared, but instead of looking angry, he was shedding a few tears. And then, with the gun, shot it. It hit I, but I didn't die. Because it was actually a fake bullet. And then episode 11 came. They made like a 0 again. And then 11 came to the site. But 11 had a darker shade of pink. And then her voice didn't sound like Sewer of Society, her actual voice actor. No, her voice didn't sound like herself. Instead, she sounded like someone familiar. The familiar one was 16. She sounded like 16. And then, instead of multiplying herself into 2, she multiplied herself into 4. And then I actually showed a sign of fear instead of pain. It was like F from alphabet lore, but it's ABC lore. And it was like he was scared of everyone. But then he gained the ability to be angry. But then, instead of being tossed into the air like usual, 0 ran into him and he was tossed up in the air. And he hit 12, but instead of being eaten, he died from I being tossed at him because it was too rough. His dead corpse was shown, but with blood. And then went on to episode 13. 13 didn't sound like two people talking at once. It sounded like one person. But the other voice sounded evil and demonic. Actually, her first voice sounded like a whisper. It was like 13 for the first voice. And the second voice, it was like 13. That voice still gives me the creeps to this day. And then the episode went on as usual. 13 was shot as usual. Blood was spewing out. Her body looked less creepy than 8's. It was like a flash image instead of his actual corpse. 14's episode came. 14 looked very extremely scared. It's like she saw a jump scare from the Kaffe coffee commercials. And then she looked at 13's dead corpse. Also, I forgot to mention she was purple instead of pink. Her body was purple instead of pink, like I just said. And then her voice sounded like her voice didn't sound like her actual voice. Instead, her voice sounded like P from Alphabet Lore. And the episode went on as it did. But for some reason, it wasn't Pi who shot the missile. No, it couldn't be. It was Ha from Harry Mason's Russian Alphabet Lore. At least, I thought it was Ha. No, it looked like a different version of Ha. He was all dark red. And then Ha, literally 8:15, but with blood. I was shot by 4 into the place he was found in episode 16. Ha pushed 16 onto I, but 16 actually fought back. Punched Ha straight in the eye. Literally went ape crap on this guy. Stepping on him. And, well, it was shown Ha had been beaten up. It was like 11 in episode 29. After 7 literally punched her. But more brutal. Ha then later grabbed Pi and put him in there. As Ha took his last step, grabbed the minus gem, put it in his face, and shot. Ha was dead. Pi was then later shown. Pi looked like the creepiest thing ever. creepier than 8's dead body for the flash image and his corpse. Creepier than 13's dead body. Even creepier than 9's dead body. No. He looked like Trevor from Solar Fallout. But he had pupils. The stick parts were long. He had blood on his face. And he looked like he started a war. And then 17's episode came. Instead of looking scared as usual, he looked like he witnessed a haunted, abandoned insane asylum. And then, instead of just being cut into 3, no, he was cut like into the amount of 12's body. And I felt no remorse. He was like, yeah. Like, 17 deserved to die. Episode 18 went on as normal. Episode 19, 3's dead body looked creepy. It was like 9's dead body. And then episode 20 came. It was like he was a new character and he didn't show up in episode 18. And then episode 21 came. And episode 22, 2's dead body was spewing blood. 23, 1 looked like he just witnessed listening to the saddest song that would make him cry. He didn't even bother to help. He was just sitting there. And then, when they were beating up 23, he then was possessed. 7 was punched away. But he came back. He grabbed 11, 16, and 18. They all beat up 23. Or evil 23 possessed by I. And then, instead of just a piece of 23 being thrown at I, it was his whole body. It was like 17's dead body in the actual series. And then episode 24 came, but instead of getting sucked up into the exits, he was actually being cut to death by 4. And episode 25 went on. But Pie's leg was spewing blood very fast. They fixed his body, but 9 just having his cyber gear took it off. He actually wrote a note that said, I don't like you anymore. I am leaving your team. I felt heartbroken. So did Pie. 9 and 10 later left. But instead of that, for some reason, they just flew into the air, just like 22 did when leaving 7's team in episode 29. Episode 27 came, when they were about to possess 27, an unknown shadowy figure came and punched iPie. Then episode 28, what is normal? Episode 29 came. We were almost over with this torture. And instead of 7 punching 11, as usual, 7 screamed at the top of his lungs. He smashed his head on the ground. And then his teeth broke. Then he later fixed them. No one left 7's team. Seven was crying on the ground. That's how stressed he was. Everyone felt bad for him. 7 told Plus to take care of iPie. And then episode 30 came. Delta looked bloody. Pi was sucked up into the air. No, not Pi, Aleph. But for some reason, episode 20, Aleph looked like Aleph from Animated Inanimate Battle. And then the episode ended. I was finally glad it was over with. I never slept soundly for 30 days, which is how many episodes there were so far. Goodbye, everyone. That was all for my story.